Shalom Aleichem. Our trip through Shas continues in Mishnah Yomi, chapter 2 of Bava Batra, Mishnah 9 and 10. Today, Mishnah Tet, Marchikin et nevelot, veta kevarot, veta borsaki, minair, chamishim amma. We need a buffer zone, a distance between the city and nevela. These are dead animals. Maybe the slaughterhouse had some nevela. Now, it's an interesting reminder that nevela is when something died without a kosher act of shechita. And a treifa is where the shechita, the act of ritual slaughter, was perfectly good, but the animal had a pre-existing medical condition they discover when they cut it up. So these are nevelot, the shechita went wrong, or it's roadkill or something like that, so they threw them out. And the kvarot is graves, and borsaki is the tannery, where they process hides into leather. There's a lot of chemicals used. All of these things have a horrible smell. They need to be kept away from the city. Not only that, the Mishnah adds, "Ein osin borsaki elo lemizrach ir." We only allow a tannery to be placed to the east side of the city. And the Gemara explains the wind coming from the east is more gentle and does not carry the stench. Rabbi Akiva disagrees, says, "L'kol ruach oseh." You could put your tannery anywhere, chutz b'ma'arava, but not towards the west. The Gemara explains the Shekhinah is in the west. Now it's interesting. We typically daven towards the east. That's their geographic location. In Bava, they would daven towards the west, always towards Yerushalayim. There's interesting Gemara in Brachot about, is it better put your bed northwest, north-south, or east-west, out of deference to the Shekhinah. So there's a whole discussion there with the poskim and the mikubalim and everything. Anyway, the Mishnah adds, Marchi kamishim amad. Of course, Rabbi Akiva agrees, you have to distance it 50 amma away from the city. Again, the smell. On to Mishnah Yud. Marchikin at the Mishra, we distance the like it's like a pit full of water for soaking flax, mina yerik, from vegetables, because there's chemicals coming out of the flax, and the taste of it would affect the neighbor's vegetables. At a kreshim mina bitzolim, we distance cress or leeks from the onions. It will affect their taste. At a chardal mina dvorim, we need to distance mustard from the bees. Rabbi Yossi mater bechardo. Rabbi Yossi allows mustard. What's going on is the bees are going to fly over, take the nectar from the mustard flowers, and then their honey will have the taste of mustard. Now again, in halakha, they explain when we eat honey, it's kosher because the bees didn't make it from their own bodies. The bees processed it from the nectar of the flowers, which is of course kosher. Since bees, devorim, are not kosher animals, if they made milk out of their own body, that would definitely be treif, it would be not kosher, but the honey is just reprocessed flower nectar. So again, if they're eating from mustard flowers, it's going to affect the taste of the honey. Typically, bees are eating from clover, they're using the nectar from clover flowers, but if you give bees access to different flowers, you can affect the taste of the honey that they're producing out of these flowers. And it's a reminder for us, kal v'chomer to human beings, if we're, sucking up information from certain forms of media that are, really can be destructive or can give people significant anxiety and worries, that's going to affect our life. And if we're taking information from Shas, from Mishnayot, from Musar, from Mesilat Yesharim, and the wonderful books that our sages have written, that will also affect the taste of our neshama. The taste in our mouth is really affected by what we're consuming. Now, finally, I'm going to add this Rabbi Yossi at the end in the Gemara in Daf 18. They explain that Rabbi Yossi disagrees with the whole premise, and we're going to see more tomorrow. Rabbi Yossi allows you to do something on your own property as long as it doesn't have a direct effect on your neighbors. So if you're growing mustard plants on your property and the neighbor's bees happen to fly over and eat some mustard, Rabbi Yossi says that's got no problem to you at all. Yishar kochachem tizku lemitzvot.